What the hell is Bitcoin? You're about to find out. Drunk history style. You heard of 8-minute abs? Well, this is a 7-minute version of crypto. Except you won't get any abs. Cue the music. In order for me to drop knowledge, I have to give you a brief history lesson. Disclaimer, my historical count may be off a bit, but in this case it's about the message, not the details. This is crypto history. Back in the caveman days, there was no money. Only a small band of ape-like men and women would run around and hunting and eating and grunting. They had shelter, water, fire, and food. Life was good. But what they used as money? They'd use a barter system. Basically, this caveman has a sharp rock. That's good for cutting. Hey, he has a nice saber-toothed rug. I'll trade you. That's bartering. Now let's jump forward 100,000 years, give or take 5,000. You start to get tribes. I'm thinking the Indians. But to be politically correct, we're talking Native Americans. These native tribes in society start to get more complex. With complexity, you need a better form of trade. You can't be all lugging your crap around. Try to trade that nice buffalo pelt. So you use a rare type of seashell to trade. These have value, which are the very early type of money that the Native Americans used. Digging deep, but I believe it's called wampum. I promise you, I'm going somewhere with this. You need to know what money is. Now we hop over the pond to Africa, Europe, Middle East. 5,000 BC, give or take 1,000 years. A ruler from Babylon named Hammurabi invented the first known system of money. He used gold and silver as a means of exchange. That was the beginning of the banking system. For 5,000 years, countries were using gold and silver as money. Now, much later in Europe, countries started making paper notes to supplement gold and silver. Today we call it fiat. Paper money, dollars, etc. The problem with fiat is that it creates inflation. Everyone's probably aware of what inflation is. If not, let me explain. My dad used to brag about going to the movies, paying 10 cents. No joke. He bought a car for $10 once. I just went to the movies recently and spent $20 for a ticket, and my truck cost $30,000. That's inflation. There's probably a bunch of fancy graphs and crap, but basically, the more money they create, higher inflation goes. So let's get back to Europe. Here in England, the economy was having a tough time. Prices were fluctuating, nothing was stable. The Queen says, "What the hell is going on? We need stability. Get me the smartest man you can find." Enter Isaac fucking Newton. When I was growing up, people that wanted to mock a smart person would say, "Who do you think you are, Isaac fucking Newton?" Well, Isaac Newton was a genius. He was smart. He was actually thought he was the second coming of Jesus when he was a kid. He invented gravity, for Christ's sake. Anyway, he was a jack of all trades and a master of all. So she told him to go out to the countryside and figure out what the best form of money is for our great society. "I'm on it," he says, and storms out. Months go by, and he's out there looking at the rocks, measuring ants, collecting honey, reading books, and finally he figures it out. "I got it." He goes back to the Queen. "Gold is the best form of money." "Yeah, we know that. We've been using it for a long time," she says. "That's all you came up with?" "Yes, ma'am, but let me tell you why. Money needs these 4 things in order to be a good form of payment. It has to be rare. You can't make gold. The supply is limited. This will keep inflation low. It has to be divisible. We can melt it down to small coins with the same amounts and measures. This will allow the people to carry and exchange it easily. It has to be durable. You can't destroy gold. It doesn't tarnish or corrode. This will help stabilize prices. You can't mess with supply. I also figured out why apples fall to the ground." "Excuse me, ma'am." "Huh? What?" "You fell asleep." "I'm sorry. You're about to tell me about the best qualities of money." Alright, here's the recap. For money to be good, it has to follow these qualities. It's scarce. You can't create more. You can't destroy it. You can break it up into small bits. And it's easy to carry. "Okay, I get it, the Queen says. Develop me a form of weights and measures for a new gold currency system. Get rid of all this paper money crap. I'm hungry, I feel like an apple." So basically, the latest version of the gold standard was developed by Isaac Newton. Now here in the US, we used that system up until 1913 when the Federal Reserve Bank was created. they decided to start issuing paper notes that were backed by gold. Trust us, they say. Use these fancy green paper, they say. If you want your gold, we'll give you some when we promise. Well, you know how that works out. So in the 1920s, the country was booming. They called it the Roaring 20s. High prices, people getting lit. It was awesome. But in 1929, there was a huge stock crash. Black Tuesday, maybe even Black Friday. I can't quite remember. People were wiped out. It was the start of the Great Depression. So what does our fearless leader do? So the U.S. doesn't go bankrupt. He confiscates all the gold. No citizen is allowed to own gold. Don't worry, I'll give you a good deal on your dollars for your gold. So everyone sends in their gold. After that, overnight, the price of gold jumps from like $10 to $30 an ounce. Some deal, huh? Over the coming years, they slowly reduced the amount of gold that backs a dollar. In the 1970s, Tricky Dick takes the fossil gold standard because we can't afford to pay all the gold debt to foreign countries. This is the end of the gold-backed system. We have been in a fiat system ever since. Prices began to rise. Huge inflation has been ongoing ever since. With this fresh creation of money the Fed prints and fake digital money out of thin air, prices just keep going up. Now here's where it gets interesting. In 2001, there was a terrorist attack called 9/11. It was a huge financial hit to the system. Governments were forced to print more money. The Fed literally creates it out of thin air by pressing enter on their computer. So this causes a huge bump in housing prices and a bubble. In 2008, it pops. We had the housing crisis. People lost their shit. Out of the housing crisis, some very smart tech-like people decided we need a new form of money. Some people think it was one person named Satoshi Nakamoto. I think it was a group, but we may never know. So anyway, they knew that the banks can't be trusted. They keep printing up all this fake money on their computers, and we have to trust that they're keeping a good record of all these transactions. They caused a damn crisis, and they asked for a bailout. So anyway, they knew that we couldn't afford to go back to the gold standard. There just isn't enough gold, and it's not digital, because we live in an internet age, and everyone wants it now. So we need digital money that acts like gold. Enter Bitcoin! Satoshi figured out that if you have a bunch of computers in a network agreeing that all units of measure are accounted for, it can't be changed because it's coded in the software. That's called blockchain. So what's the quality of Bitcoin? It has the same qualities of gold. 1. It's scarce. Only 21 million will ever be exist. 2. You can't create more. The network of computers prevents this, and it's all based on mathematics. 3. You can't destroy it. You'd have to basically destroy every computer running. We're talking millions of computers. 4. You can break it up into small bits. I'm thinking like 0.0000001 bit. It's easy to carry. Literally on your phone or ATM card, your crypto wallet, there's no limit. Whew! Bitcoin literally is digital gold. For thousands of years, we've been using gold, silver, and paper notes. Now in the last 10 years, someone has literally invented a new form of money. It's like electricity, the printing press, the wheel. It's the biggest invention since the internet. Alright. Full disclosure, it was actually 8 minutes. But I hope you understand now why people are so excited about this technology. It's going to change the world. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Thank you.